Hi, my name is Ben. We may have talked before on a video clip, but I've got something really special I want to tell you about. Now, I don't know what your use might be for leeches other than to say yuck, but I have deep vein thrombosis. That means deep vein blood clots. They're very incapacitating. They're just a life changer. And if you're like me and you're an active sports person, you just can't tolerate the idea of doing nothing for the next 5 or 10 years. So I'm trying everything, and this is one of the remedies that seems to be really helping. I'm going to tell you how to use leeches for your own therapy. Now, people use them for many things. They've been used for centuries, but currently people use them for things like arthritis. They're supposed to be great for that, cardio problems, circulation problems, all sorts of things. You can look up more in your internet. But let me show you how to use these things, how to work with them, and what to expect, because I couldn't find any of that on the internet. First of all, once you order them, how are you going to receive them? Here's what you may get. From the company that shipped mine, I received a box just like this, just left at the mailbox. Now, if it's a hot day, you don't want this box to sit out more than one afternoon. You open the box and reach in, pull out a plastic container. This container is going to have your leeches in it. And right now, I think I've got 3 of them stationed in there, and I'm going to show them to you in just a minute. There'll be some little absorbent gel cubes in there to keep moisture, so your leeches are going to be fine. Okay, now you've got the leeches. What do? That's what I couldn't find out. But from experimentation, I'm going to share my knowledge with you. First, get ready for the application. Do it on a weekend. Don't do it during the week, because you've got to allow time for your wounds to heal. Do it maybe on a Friday afternoon, so that by Monday morning you'll be in good shape where people won't notice these bandages and so forth on your legs. How long does it take for the bleeding to stop from a leech bite? You know, it can take anywhere from 30 minutes to 3 days, depending on the leech, depending on where you put it on the body, depending on a lot of things. Now, for me, typically it's been 2 to 3 days, because I have deep vein blood clots in the leg. And let me show you, here's a bandage right now. I'm going to stand up so you can see that, maybe come a little closer. This is a special bandage that has really helped a whole lot to control the excess bleeding. I've just taken off one down there. I put on 5 leeches the past weekend and 5 leeches the weekend before. I know that it's helping. I've done that, done some tests to demonstrate that. But let me show you how to work with these leeches. You will have to anticipate on the leeches opening a very tiny wound in your skin, but because they inject something that will allow bleeding to occur, you're going to get a lot of that red stuff, but that's okay. By the way, be friends with your leeches. Give them names or something. They're really funny looking creatures. And at first, you know, they're going to kind of hang and swing on you. Actually, I think they are, in disguise, they're bankers, because you'll notice on one side of their uniform, they've got a white stripe, some kind of a gray stripe, so they're wearing pinstripe suits, and they get fat off of you as a taxpayer by sucking your blood. I mean, these things, they're talented. They probably work at Citibank or Goldman Sachs, who knows. Okay, you want to have some bandages. Next care is what I highly recommend. These are bandages that have a clear outer layer and then a non-stick inner layer. The clear outer layer is essential because it's going to keep the blood from pouring out from that wound. It's going to help control it. You can't use a standard Band-Aid. It won't work. When you first put a leech on and he fills up and you take him off, you'll think, oh, I don't even see any blood. It's not going to bleed. Wrong, it will. So you just need to be prepared for that. Next thing, I highly recommend Vet Wrap, made by 3M. Only costs $2 or $3 a roll, and once you put your packing on your leg, you can wrap it and it adheres to itself very well. Learned that the hard way. You can use other types of bandages, reusable adhesive bandages, other stretchy bandages, but just keep in mind these are going to get damaged by blood and so forth. Okay, now you've got your leeches in. They've just come in the mail. How do you handle them? You can put gloves on. That's probably be a good idea, little rubber gloves. But these little critters are going to stick to everything. They're going to stick to the plastic. They won't want to let go. They're going to say, oh, I don't want to go. But after a while, they'll accept you and they'll go. But better yet, go to your local aquarium and get a little fish net like this. You can scoop them up. Then you put them on your leg and put a cap over them. This just happens to be off of one of the bandage cases. You can use any kind of container. Put them on your leg and they will find a place to bite in for blood. Now you can move the container around if you want to put it in a particular place. The interesting thing I want you to know is that these leeches have a small end and a big end. The small end has got the little biters on it that aren't going to hurt. The big end is just another suction grip. So they're going to kind of put their suckers down on both ends. While a leech may seem only like an inch long when you get it, by the time it's through feeding, having dinner on you, it may be 3 inches, 4 inches long. Those rascals really know how to chow down on some good food. So make sure you eat well so you can feed them well. They'll appreciate it. Okay, let's take a look at some other things you're going to need. I would advise going to the grocery and getting a bag of these Prevail underpads, roughly 2 by 3 feet, and they look something like this. The reason you want something like this is because you can put it under your leg when you go to sleep at night, because you are going to drop some blood. Now, what I would recommend after your leech is finished feeding, and by the way, do you know how to tell if he's finished feeding? He'll quit eating and then just kind of roll off, go to sleep. And then you just put him in a container. Now, if you want, you can do like I do. I prepared a little fish bowl here, and they love water, but do not use tap water that has chlorine in it because that'll really kill them. I made that mistake, poor little critter. Use distilled water, and you may need to change it every few days. Now, I'm going to try to upgrade and do a fish aquarium, oxygen and everything. That's what they would really like. But for right now, if you don't want to kill them with alcohol or throw them away or whatever, get you some good clean water, and they're really funny to watch. Just be sure you put a lid on it because they can crawl right up glass. Okay, you've got some pads ready, and to sleep I would recommend you have something to wrap around your leg, like an old blanket, maybe an old sheet. Do not come in contact with good sheets. You'll be wishing that you hadn't done that, because you can take all the effort you want to make sure you don't miss a drop of blood, but you're still going to bleed. Okay, take some paper towels. I have a big roll here that I like to keep and pull off about 6 of these things. Then fold them over a few times. Paper towels are great because they actually are antibiotic. They contain lignin, which is a natural antibiotic. So you roll up your paper towels, cut a little piece off of one of these wrappers, put it over here. Now you've already put your bandage on your leg, so you're limiting the amount of blood that can flow out. Then you put this down, and you take your vet wrap and go around your leg. I'm not going to do this to its entirety because we don't have time for that. So you've got the idea. That's as simple as it is. Now, be prepared to see the next day that this pad is covered with blood. It's okay. You've got plenty of it. You're not going to miss a little bit of it. And the leeches took a little bit. You will feel better. What's it like when the leech first attaches? You may experience like little pinpricks poking into you. It may sting. It may feel like it's a burning, prickling sensation. However you describe it, just deal with it. It's only going to last about 10 minutes. It's not going to be bad. Each time you do leech therapy, you'll notice it less and less. But after that initial 10 minutes, you're good to go for the rest of the time. You're not even going to know that they're there because they actually secrete a small amount of anesthetic. What I'm trying to do is to see if I can get my friendly leeches to secrete enough hirudin, which is the natural anticoagulant that inhibits the thrombin fibrinogen complex and everything. You understand that, of course. I'm trying to get enough in my body so that it will help to dissolve some of the blood clots, because they're unable to do anything interventional wise. Okay, just real quick, let's take a look. We've opened our box here. We've pulled out our leeches, and let's see what these bad boys are up to here. Okay, I take my little wand, and by the way, if you want to see a up close shot of the leeches, they're kind of crawling around. Nice guys. Oh, this big one wants to come out. Well, here, we'll grab one here. Okay, sitting on the box, unfortunately, or something. I have a leech. I'm going to put him in the little container. He's in the container. And now I just pick a point. Maybe I want to lay down, get back in there. Plug him on there, and if you'll just hold that there a while, he'll find a good place to have dinner, and he'll set his little tablecloth and get ready to chow down. Now these guys have already eaten, so they're just plain now. So we're going to dump them in their new playground. Come on, boys. Okay, or maybe not. Okay. Well, they'll get to explore around later. These guys are really quite interesting. You'll enjoy watching them. They're very beautiful creatures, and this is an excellent way to try to treat some things that may be intractable, that may be refractory to standard treatment. You'll find that there's not much out there, and I'm still learning, but I want you to try leech therapy if it's possibly going to benefit you. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this clip. Have fun with your leeches. Bye-bye.